Is the dip in Micron stock price another buying opportunity or just another case of dead money? Here to break it down for us is MarketBeat analyst Thomas Hughes. And Thomas, just last week we talked about AMD, which now kind of has a similar story as Micron.
What I'm seeing in both of these stocks over the last year and leading into this year is a bubble that formed with AI hype. The market really bought into that bubble. Neither one of the companies are benefiting from the bubble as quickly as NVIDIA because it takes time for this industry to ramp up and for this AI revolution of GPUs and memory chips to really gain momentum. So since that bubble, there's been a market reset. Now the market has been reset. Micron, advanced micro devices are both trading near long-term lows and setting up pretty good buying opportunities, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're going to get to your opinion in a little bit and talk about some of the different opinions that are out there. But first, let's just take a look at Micron's story specifically. What is this stock doing right now, or has it been doing over the last 6 months or so?
Since its pullback at the early second half last year, it's been trending sideways, kind of having some hard time gaining traction. The AI-driven segment is booming and outperforming. Legacy segments aren't quite so hot, keeping the businesses growing and outperforming, but not really giving those stellar results that we saw with NVIDIA. So it's kind of having an impact on the stock price action.
Comparing Micron and AMD's stocks today as kind of similar stock stories, but their companies are very different.
Advanced Micro Devices makes processors, where Micron is making memory chips. Advanced Micro Devices business is more closely aligned with NVIDIA. They both have that data center segment with the GPUs, and that's where the real big craze with AI is right now. Micron is unique because they make memory chips, and memory is used in all kinds of devices, especially in the GPUs that are being used to make AI. They require lots and lots of memory. Micron makes the most advanced HBM3 chips, which is the most advanced memory. They're faster, they use less power, and coincidentally, it sells its chips to both NVIDIA and Advanced Micro Devices for the construction of their GPUs. So has a pretty strong tailwind with AI that's not just linked to NVIDIA.
And a lot of demand for its products, it seems. It's still up for the year, and it still seems to have a pretty good customer base out there.
Customer base is solid. They're growing business. Right now, what I see in the results is that there's strength is not quite as strong as it could be because they're constrained by the supply of the GPUs. So both NVIDIA and AMD are trying to ramp up their next-gen GPU production. NVIDIA just hit full production with Blackwell last quarter. That's why we saw such a big increase in memory sales from Micron last quarter. We should see that happen again this quarter. It might be another few quarters before they hit full stride. NVIDIA is also supposed to ramp production. AMD is supposed to ramp production. So that's a pretty solid tailwind for this business.
And we're talking a lot about chip stocks in this video. And I think right now investors either have a love it or hate it relationship with chip stocks like this. You made a case last week for AMD as a great buying opportunity. There is a quite different opinion out there of some people saying these stocks are dead and they're not going to be going anywhere. Go ahead and check out our video from last week where Thomas kind of made a case of why he thinks AMD is a good buying opportunity. Now, Thomas, is your chance to kind of present the same case for Micron. Why do you think this stock still has a chance to pay off for investors?
The analyst sentiment has been realigned, but it's still very bullish. The outlook for growth is robust. Cash flow is solid. It's got a fantastic balance sheet and is returning capital to shareholders. All of those things play into the long-term stock price outlook, which suggests that it could rise by 45–55% this year and then extend those gains next year.
Those are some pretty good returns. Are analysts still expecting to see that kind of return for the year?
Micron is showing up on MarketBeat's list of most downgraded stocks. Now, you would think the most downgraded stocks are not stocks that you're going to want to go buy. However, most downgraded is relative to what they're downgrading and what the revision trend is. It's seen a significant number of price target revisions, but they've been lowered from the high-end range to align with the consensus target. So they're showing a higher conviction in the consensus target, which assumes a 45% upside.
What is it going to take to really move the needle and get this stock moving in the right direction this year?
Potential for what I see happening is an analyst reset. So right now the analyst revision trends is negative. That's weighing on the market. They're still very bullish in their outlook, But later in the year, when the company starts to show better traction and continues to outperform, they may revert to a positive trend, and that would be a catalyst for higher share prices.
Are there any catalysts in the economy, in the market, and overall demand for the specific chips that Micron is making that could impact how well this company does this year?
There's robust demand for these chips. I mean, the build out, all the money that's being spent right now in tech, most of that money is being spent on data centers and building out infrastructure for AI that all relies on these GPUs from NVIDIA and to a lesser extent AMD. They're both customers of Micron. We're looking at a multi-year upcycle in these chips because once all the data centers upgrade to Blackwell, they're going to need to upgrade to the next iteration of chips in a few more years. So we've got a long-term persistent upgrade cycle ahead of us that's going to drive results for Micron.
How does Micron's demand compare to AMD's demand? Getting back to this comparison of two stocks that on paper have a lot of demand, a good business plan, a lot of cash flow, seem to be doing well, and yet their stock still isn't performing.
We're looking at triple-digit increases in sales in these data center products, offset by weaker results in the legacy businesses. Now, those legacy businesses are normalizing and they're returning to growth, and they're expected to accelerate over the coming years, but that's not yet happened. It should happen over the next couple of quarters, and that will be part of the fundamental story that drives the stock price.
Yeah, I don't think the AI story is done anytime soon. In fact, many of these AI stocks are continuing to see a lot of growth. Check out our list of the 10 best AI investments you can make in 2025. You can scan the QR code right now or click the link in the description of this video to get that free report on MarketBeat.com right now. Thomas, I want to end this video with just a quick discussion about some of your investing strategy when it comes to looking at stocks that are on a downtrend, that are low like this. Where do you feel with your comfort level and what's kind of your strategy when you look at making an investment in a down stock? Is there still a risk?
What you have to start with is the company's fundamental quality. Is it a good company? Is it a viable stock? What's the reason for its downtrend? And if it's a viable stock and there are some near-term headwinds impacting the stock price action, then it's probably going to be a good buy longer term. If there's one thing that I've learned over the years of trading is that when I find a good stock that looks like a good trade, I've proven to be a pretty poor short-term trader, but whenever I go back to those same stocks, they're so much higher than they were. So pick a good stock, just stick with it, and whenever its price falls, use that as a buying opportunity to load up on some shares and build a position.
All right, some solid advice, Thomas. So we'd love to hear what you think. Do you love this strategy or hate it? And are you one of the people buying the dip on Micron or AMD right now? Let us know in the comments of the video, and also make sure to watch our full AMD coverage as well. Thanks again for watching today, everyone. And as always, happy investing.